Alrighty, welcome, brother. Today I'm going to be riffing off the top of my dome. I've got some notes here, which I will glance at here and there, but I really just want to give you the transmission for what I believe is going to help you to stay grounded and connected and centered to yourself so that you can stay connected to those around you, including your partner. Christmas is a bit of a crazy time. I think people start to lose their mind a little bit. There's so much stress, there's so much pressure. Places to go, there's old family dynamics, there's trauma and triggers that get resurfaced. Sometimes there's alcohol, there's deadlines with work and other commitments and places we've got to be, and her family and my family, and trying to keep everyone happy. Financial pressures. There's so much that kind of contributes, and it can become this bit of a pressure cooker where you start to build up all of this energy. Your partner starts to, build up all of her energy. And the next thing, there's all this unnecessary tension. And what could have been a beautiful, enjoyable experience starts to create an unnecessary conflict. I want to help give you some tools and strategies and tips and just a bit of a reminder of how you can stay connected so that this doesn't blow out. All right. First thing I want you to think of is, am I reacting or am I creating? They're pretty much the same letters, react and create. Okay, two very different meanings. If I'm reacting, then I'm kind of not in the driver's seat. I'm just getting blown around by the wind. Whatever's happening out there is what I'm reacting to. But if I'm creating, it kind of doesn't matter what's happening out there. I'm still choosing how I show up and how I want to respond to that. Okay, so really just sit with that when something's happening. Am I creating or am I reacting? Being centered doesn't mean you have to be calm all the time, all right? It's okay to feel stressed, to feel anxious, to even feel angry or a little bit chaotic and still remain in your center. Again, if something pulls me off my center, then I'm not really choosing. I'm kind of outside of myself and I'm getting pulled in all these different directions. Okay, so if I'm in my center, then stressful things can happen, but I get to choose from a grounded, centered place. So the question for you then is, how do you become, or how do you stay centered? Now, it's probably not the best time of the year to be creating new routines and structures, although, if that's the case for you, then you definitely can. Hopefully you've got something. You might already know what makes you feel good. Maybe it's a walk in the morning. Maybe it's a little gym session. Maybe it's 20 push-ups, 5 minutes of breath work, some YouTube Wim Hof, yoga. I want you to get really clear on what it is that helps you feel like yourself. What helps bring you into your center so that you can feel calm and connected to that. One of the challenges with Christmas time is that it throws routine out. And so a lot of people just kind of ditch everything. It's like, oh, I'm not going to train. I'm staying at my in-laws' place, so I won't go to the gym. I'm spending time with the family, so I won't go for a walk. I don't have time for breath work. I don't have time to do all these different things. And so all this structure kind of gets thrown out the window. And one of the best things that you can do is understand what it is that you need and what your body needs to stay centered and keep doing that. If you've got a routine, try and keep some kind of structure in your day. That's going to really help your nervous system to feel settled so that not everything is new and different and, there's not so much different stimulation. So create some consistency, create some kind of structure. I also understand that sometimes it is crazy. You are on the road, you're driving from one place to another. Maybe you've just finished work. Now you've got to go see the family. You're going to Christmas. There's all these errands you've got to run, pick up presents. Hopefully that's not you. Hopefully you're just chilling out. But if this is you, then I really want you to take micro moments to yourself. Okay, like if things do feel crazy, if things do feel intense and you don't feel like, I don't have time to do my breath work in the morning, or I don't have time to go to the gym, then really connect in with what time you do have. And that might be on the toilet, right? You're going to take a crap, and instead of sitting there scrolling through your phone and numbing out, you just take 10 deep breaths. Yeah, or you're in the shower and you're just washing yourself. And instead of ruminating on the thoughts of the day or what needs to happen tomorrow, it's just a moment to maybe place a hand on your heart or your belly, breathe down into your balls, feel your feet on the ground, and just exhale and just feel yourself, feel your body, feel where you're at. Recenter, come back to yourself. This is really important. It's not always in the big moments. It's not always in the 20-minute breathwork journey, right? Sometimes it's literally just like taking 5 breaths, 3 breaths, 1 deep exhale at a moment that you choose. Again, this is about you coming back into the driver's seat, you being the driver and choosing how you want to respond and create, right? So create predictability amongst the chaos and take micro moments to yourself. Now, this next one's really important. Take responsibility for your inner world. Okay, you're a man. Take responsibility for your stuff. Yeah, don't project what's happening in you onto others. If you're feeling stressed, own that. Take responsibility for it. Tell yourself, first and foremost, fuck, I feel stressed. I feel the tension. I feel the pressure. Great, own it. Then you get to do something with it. If you're in denial of what you're feeling inside and you're trying to manage it and pretend that it doesn't exist, if you're feeling tension, anger, frustration, and you're just trying to, white knuckle it and just pretend it doesn't exist, that's going to blow out sideways and someone's going to feel it. Even if you don't feel it, it's going to come out in passive aggression. It's going to come out in some kind of sly remark, shutting down, withdrawing. Someone else is going to bear the brunt of it by you not owning it. That's just what happens. But if you take full responsibility and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, you get to then do something with that energy. Okay, so take responsibility for your inner world. Know your capacity. Okay, and that means like if you're tapped out, own that too. I know, again, this can stretch you beyond your limits or to your limits, but really know your capacity and know that like, hey, I actually can't make that agreement. I can't make that appointment. I actually don't have capacity to pick that thing up. I actually just don't have the capacity to be in the room anymore. I've already done lunch and we've been sitting for 3 hours. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm going to take a step outside and get some fresh air. That's part of taking responsibility for your inner world, is also knowing your capacity and what you can actually handle. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in it if you own it fully. Okay, but if you fall into the pattern of shame and hiding that and trying to bypass your own sensations, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to go into these different responses and reactions, and you're going to lose that center and start to play in the outer realms. And that's a little bit slippery. Communicate clearly. Taking responsibility, understanding what's happening in your inner world, then communicate that to those people around you. And you could just say, hey, I really don't have the capacity for this right now. I'm tapped out. I'm actually going to take some space to myself. Own that. Own that fully. There's nothing wrong with that. Say no when you need to. Again, kind of ties into the last point. If people are asking a lot of you, feel free to say no, right? It's like, it's a simple one, but sometimes you need to be reminded. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I can't do this. My capacity is full. Which brings me to the next one, which is be okay with disappointing your partner and other people. All right, this is a really big one for if you're a proud man, and I am, if you're a man who likes to feel capable and strong and powerful, which I do, right, then sometimes it's really hard to say no, to meet an edge, to feel a boundary, because it's like, yeah, I want to shoulder the world. I want to make sure that everyone else feels good and safe and they're having a good time. I don't want to say no. I don't want to feel weak, right? Again, this is where this shame kind of comes in. I don't want to feel like that. But at the end of the day, you're not Superman, and sometimes this season can stretch you beyond your capacity and beyond your limits. So if that happens, you've got to be okay with disappointing other people and recognizing that just because you couldn't fulfill the thing, your behavior is not a reflection of your identity. So just because you couldn't do enough, it doesn't mean that you're not enough. If you let someone down in the process of you honoring yourself and your needs and your boundaries and what feels good for you, that doesn't inherently make you a bad person or make you less than or make you not enough, right? If anything, it makes you more trustworthy, more integral, more respectable, because you know your limits and you know where you stand within that. So separating your behavior from your identity. What can happen if we have old wounds, especially those from childhood, is if someone's disappointed, hey, you let me down because I wanted you to do this, right? It's like, oh, I feel that I take that hit as a loss or a hit to my identity, a hit to my ego, right? The wounded inner boy is like, oh, I'm not enough. I couldn't make that person happy. And I just want to be realistic with you, because there's a lot that you can do. And I just want you to recognize that if you're at your limit, that's okay, right? Totally, totally okay. Stretch yourself, rise to the occasion, help others, be of service, create, do all of these things. Heck yeah. I am already stretching myself this Christmas right now. And I'll go on a little bit of a tangent here, but yesterday I had a full day plan. I had the first 6 hours of my day planned. I was supposed to be recording this video. I had multiple appointments. I had an appointment out on site somewhere. I had someone coming to my house for a one-on-one session and a breathwork journey. And my partner, I won't go into the exact details, but she had this really big episode with her health, right? And I had to drop everything. I had to cancel all my commitments so that I could prioritize her. And that was really hard. It's really hard for me because I wanted to do all these other things. I had these plans and commitments, but I had to let them go and meet the moment. And the moment was calling for me to be a partner and to be a supportive man to my woman. And that took precedence and priority over the other things. And so there's a little bit of pride in that. Like, I wanted to do all the things, but there's a really important message in this, which is really getting comfortable with being the man that the moment demands. Now, each moment is going to require something different of you. This is not just a Christmas lesson. This is a universal life lesson. If we're attached to what we think needs to happen next, if we're attached to how the day should look, if we're attached to how the lunch should look, the Christmas dinner, the holiday, the trip, the getaway, the surprise vacation that you've booked for your partner, and you're like, this is how it has to look, then when something gets in the way, and sometimes that happens in life, it's very easy to feel frustrated or upset or sad. And again, that's okay. You can feel frustrated, upset, and sad. But if you get stuck in that emotion and you can't pivot and adapt to what's being required of you in the present moment, then you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on what's actually happening in the now because of what you think should have been happening now. And then that's a big loss for everyone, including yourself. So a really important lesson is to be able to meet the moment as it demands, right? And that's not to say that you stretch yourself and lose yourself to that moment, but it's like, how can I be so present to what's occurring around me that I'm able to be whatever that fucking moment demands of me? Like, that is your power as a man. If something goes wrong, how do you rise to meet the occasion? If your plans get thrown out, how do you shift those plans, reschedule, make things right? How do you move things to bring it back into order without losing yourself and reacting and pouting or shutting down or getting angry or defensive? Okay? So be okay with disappointing other people. Your behavior is not a reflection of your identity. Where you do meet your limits is not a reflection of how good you are as a person. It just means, hey, I can't do this. I physically can't attend this appointment because I'm tending to something else. I'm sorry I've had to let you down, but I'm okay with that. Now, moving to your partner, what you might notice is a lot of these things have been all about yourself. Right? I'm massive on this because nothing matters inside of your relationship if you're not taking responsibility for yourself. It's very easy to have a 6-step process on how to repair conflict with your partner, but if you're not emotionally attuned to yourself first, regulated, grounded, and centered in who you are, then that 6-step process is just about, you're still outsourcing your power to the relationship or to the process. What I really want to instill in you, that I do with all of my clients, is that you take responsibility for your inner world first. From that place, the relationship is just a byproduct of that. It becomes a lot easier to navigate the relationship when you're already solid in who you are. It's just an extension of you. Your relationship is an extension of you. And if you're lost or distracted or confused inside, then that's going to mirror out into your relationship, especially if you're the one that's typically responsible for leading the relationship and holding the polarity, holding the tension and the charge of the direction of leadership, of masculine energy, right? So take responsibility for yourself first, and then you get to focus on other people. All right, we're back. Storage was full and the video cut out. I'm going to wrap this up in a second. Take the load off your partner and lead. Okay, if you notice that your partner is stressed, if you notice that she's got a lot going on, don't sit there scrolling or twiddling your thumbs. Step in and support her. Help her where she needs to be helped so that you can relieve some of the stress and pressure off her. There's a good chance that if she's feeling the stress and pressure, it's going to come into your relationship and it's going to make it more challenging for you. Okay, so if you can step up, honor the capacity that you do have, and where you do have capacity, lean in. Tell her, I've got this. Okay, I've got this. Relax. I'm going to take care of this next piece. You just go put your feet up, right? I'll clean up. I'll do this. I'll cook that. I'll go pick this up. Whatever it is, lean in and support your partner so that she doesn't have to do everything, right? It's simple, but it's a big one. Remember, your partner is on your team. The definition of partner is like, we're on a team, partner in crime, business partner. Remember that your partner is on your team, and it's easy when there's a lot going on to feel like this person isn't on your team. You said you were going to do this and I wanted to do this, but I wasn't able to. And these kind of unspoken tensions and resentments start to build. And instead of working together for a unified goal or vision, you turn on each other, right? Just remember just that simple thing. Oh, this person's on my team. This is my partner. How do we come back to remembering that we're actually trying to move in the same direction and to try and put some of that stuff aside? Which brings me to my next point. Slow down your breath and your movement and create safety for her. If you notice that there's a lot going on, that you're activated, she's activated, there's a lot of stress moving, when you're with her, slow down. Slow down your breath, slow down your movement, bring her in close, take a deep breath together, and create that safety, create that space. It will go a long, long way. And lastly, check in with each other. All right, this is an unintentional sequence, but if you're taking the load off her, remembering she's on your team, slowing down your breath and your movement, then ask, hey, how are you doing? Out of 10, what is your capacity right now? You can even create a scale. I've seen this done a lot, and my partner and I have done it as well, where you create a rating out of 10 or out of 100, and it's like, I'm checking in with a 7. How about you? I'm checking in with a 4. Okay, great. Whoever's at 7 knows it might be best for them to hold a little bit more. If someone's tapped out and they're at 0 and someone's 10, it's like, cool, I've got a little bit more. I can hold a bit more than you today. I've got this. If you're both at 5, you're both at 10, it's like, cool, we're in this together. But just check in. Ask your partner, how you doing? How is all this feeling for you? Don't forget to ask. Don't assume that you know how she's doing, and don't assume that she knows how you're doing. Communication, be effective. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. If you have any questions, shoot me a message, a DM. Otherwise, Merry Christmas. You've got this. Stay connected to yourself. Stay centered and trust in who you are. You've got this, brother. Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. So I want to leave you with this. You already know. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. I trust that you've got enough out of this. If you have any questions or anything else you want to ask, let me know. The biggest thing I want you to remember is just to take command of your body, your vessel, take responsibility for your inner world, slow down where needed, say no when you need to, recognize your capacity, speak your truth, ask for what you want, and remember, are you being reactive or creative? Are you reacting to the world, or are you creating an inner state, an outer reality from choice? All right, Merry Christmas. Hope it's an epic season for you, a beautiful new year, and we'll talk to you guys soon.